Hello everyone, this is Coach Sean, and we have finished reviewing the hitting video from early December, and we're now just putting together your hitting lessons. There's some things that are common amongst a lot of our hitters that the videotape is showing us, and I just wanted to start by reviewing some of these things so that everybody can become familiar with them, what they are, how they affect your swing, what you can do to correct it, practice drills, etc. What I'd like everyone to do after you read these things is stop your video, go online, go to our website, saintsbaseball.club. Once you're at the website, saintsbaseball.club, I would like you to go to the features page, and I'd like you to watch the following videos. The first one I would like you to watch is Fix Your Flat Swing, Master the Snap Drill. I believe this drill is essential in any hitter's swing. If you do not move your hands, turn the triangle, snap the bat rearward, and pull your hands through a swing, you're not going to have your best swing. You're not going to be able to attack the balls on the corners and things of that nature. A flat swing is going to have trouble hitting outside and inside pitches. What we are trying to build with our hitters is a complete hitter, somebody with no holes in their swing that can attack all the balls in the zone and drive the ball from gap to gap at your 18 to 22 degree upward plane, thusly making each hitter the best they can be. So again, if you do not snap your bat correctly, this drill is perfect for slowing it down, duplicating it, mimicking the process, and is something that everybody should be able to do or know about so that they can work on getting there in the future. So again, I'd like you to start by watching those two videos. I think 3 videos associated to that part of the drill. The second thing I'd like you to watch is casting your hands in the swing. It's the second video on the page. Casting your hands is something that most of our hitters are doing. A large number of them anyway are doing. And casting the bat, simply put, will flatten your swing. Okay, it's the incorrect use of your hands in the swing that flattens your plane of your bat, which is going to make you, again, have difficulty hitting inside and outside pitches. It's going to give you holes in your swing, and this is a great video series so that you can understand what it is, how you're doing it, and again, ways to fix it. So that's very important. Thirdly, loose hands drill. It's lower down on the page, and I have a feeling from watching these videos that not everybody's holding their bats correctly. The bat should be held very loosely, and every one of our players should investigate using a grip aid, whether it's pine tar or the tacky waxy substances, something of that nature. But if you look at a major league on deck circle, there's probably 4 or 5 grip aids that the batters are using every at bat before they go to bat in most cases. And on the Saints team, we've got literally 1 or 2 people using pine tar, and not on a regular basis. So again, I would like all the players to understand how to grip a bat, the best way to grip a bat, why they're gripping it that way, and how it contrasts with what they're doing. And I'd like them to try to mimic and copy the folks in these hand drills so that they can, again, feel the difference in the swing with loose hands. So we've got that video. We've got the Justin Turner's loose hands bat grip, which all that does is show his loose grip preload. Again, very important for the kids to get that, let it sink in, and see if they can change their grip to get their hands and wrists looser in the swing. So go ahead and go watch those and then come on back to your lesson. Okay, now that you've done that, let's talk a little bit about what we're trying to achieve here. In general, a hitter that is approaching 15 years old, or by the time he reaches 16, he should be very proficient at covering the zone, meaning having a swing that will produce a line drive anywhere from gap to gap at anywhere from 16 to 22 degree upward trajectory. A player should be able to hit a pitch in that direction that is anywhere in the zone. That is a batting practice or soft toss pitch or off a tee. Okay, yes, it's a different thing when you put a live pitcher in there throwing top speed for your age group, but by age 15, 16 at the latest, you should be very well accomplished with the quick short swing that covers the whole zone, that puts the ball into the right place. So what we're trying to do is build that with each player, and what we're seeing from just a few flaws, not a lot of stuff needs to be cleaned up with a lot of our hitters, but this snap drill and how you initiate the swing and casting the hands are the two biggest things we need to fix so that our kids can get on the trajectory of being able to hit a ball in the strike zone where they need and want to hit it. So our goal is trying to get you all in that direction. So that's what we're working on here. That's what we're trying to accomplish. So the first thing I want to show you here is this hitter performing the snap drill. And let's just roll it so you can see it. Okay, let's play it live. You see how he does it nice and slow, making sure he's keeping everything in its right position with the right sequence. And this drill right here, we're going to call the snap drill. And I believe every one of our hitters on our team needs to practice this a lot on a regular basis. Even after you master it, you need to keep doing it just to make sure it stays regular and an easy feeling for you. And let's take a look at some of the breakdown on this thing here. So what you're trying to achieve is more of a horizontal or downward swing. As you can see at the point of contact, so to speak, the angle of his bat. Okay. That angle right there is what you're trying to achieve on most pitches, not an outside and high pitch, for example, but for a lot of the pitches on the plate, that's the angle you're trying to achieve, okay? So, of course, he did that and achieved that angle by starting with a good triangle with this 90 degrees. He's got a proper hand grip. Okay, look at that really close. And as you move it forward here, he's snapping the bat rearward. Snapping the bat rearward. And one important thing in being able to do that, which is also part of the snap drill teachings, is this right here. The right forearm for a right-hander, left forearm for a left-hander. This degree should always be close to 90 degrees at all times until you get into the power V, or the tail end of your swing. So as you watch that angle through the swing, you can see he's kept it more or less at contact right there. Okay? So the relationship of the forearm to the bat should always be 90 degrees. When you start the swing, the first movement here, there's his go right there. His triangle starts to turn, his bat comes rearward, his forearm and bat are at 90 degrees, and he simply maintains that posture through the swing. And you can see there he really starts to get his left elbow moving forward and around and up, and starts plunging his left shoulder rearward. Okay? So as you watch this here, see how far that left shoulder or left elbow is going to maintain his 90 degrees. Now he's essentially turned his triangle all the way, and it's facing the pitcher. Okay? If you do not, which a lot of our hitters don't, if you do not turn that elbow up and out, that elbow will stop right where it's at. Okay? If your elbow stops in here, which a lot of our players' elbows do, if you're stopping here, the only place for the arms and hands to then go, the forearms and the hands, is out and around that elbow. Okay? So these are then going to come outward. Okay? That would be his arm extended right there, so to speak. If he stops the elbow, this hand has nowhere to go but out and around the elbow. Okay? Which will make you cast your bat, which will give you a flatter swing plane and make it tough to reach inside pitches and outside pitches on a regular basis. So again, this snap drill is something everybody should grab a wiffle ball bat, stand in front of a mirror, practice this methodically, slowly, until you get it and it's comfortable. And once it's comfortable, you should continue to do it on a regular basis. Okay? So let's flip this for our left-handers. Let them take a look. Okay, this drill is real easy to practice as well. What you do is you get in the batter's box with a tee, you get your feet lined up, you take and you measure the distance from the hands to the sweet spot of your bat, and you get in this position, put the bat near the ball, you recreate this whole position right here, and then you simply back it up to your load and you slowly proceed between the 2 points until you can do it quickly and correctly. Okay, so I want everybody to work on that. I want you to do it at home. I want you to do it in the cages, at practice. I really want everybody to concentrate on gaining what it feels like to start your swing like this. Very important. Okay, here's another version of the snap drill. It should also be practiced with one hand. This is the portion of the drill where you're concentrating on a 90-degree or a perpendicular angle, 90 degrees from the bat to your left elbow or your forearm or your right forearm if you're right-handed. Let's watch this gentleman demonstrate the drill. So along with the other version of this, everybody should practice this on a regular basis. You should get it to feel as comfortable as possible, and some of the things to remind you of here is you can see how the elbow and everything starts to slot and everything works together simultaneously. The same thing with the two-hand snap drill, okay? So now we've got this flipped for right-handed players to see what it looks like. Okay, so again, the ability to do this and master these drills and get a good feel for handling the bat like these instructors are. Again, bat speed controls how far and hard we hit the ball. So you want to gain as much bat speed as possible, and you can see the whip from laying it down like this is how you're going to gain more bat speed, okay? That's how early bat speed is gained. The second thing it's going to do for you, it's going to get the bat on the right path, which is going to help you hit more balls where you want to hit them. So keep all that in mind as you're practicing this drill. And the third way to practice the snap drill is with a PVC pipe. Okay, and here is the third way to practice the snap drill, and this is with the PVC pipe that was provided to you by Chris, or this could be with a broomstick, something of that nature. And let's just watch this gentleman. You can see how he moves everything simultaneously. Everything's firing at once. The snapping of the hands, the slotting of the right elbow, the upward movement of the left shoulder and elbow to turn the triangle, and bam. Okay, now again, this is exaggerated. You're not going to exactly swing this way every time, but it does show, and by exaggerating, get everything moving in the right direction on the right path. So let's flip it for our left-handers. Okay, so there are the 3 ways to practice the snap drill, and I highly suggest everybody masters these drills. Get them looking just the way these instructors do in the video. Okay? So here we have Justin Turner loaded in here, and I want to take a quick look at the ending of his swing so that we have contrast for later when we get into the individual videos. But you can see he's 3/4 of the way through his swing here, and if we draw a line right here, this line indicates what a lot of our players are doing that are casting their hands. If you cast your hands, what that's going to do, it's going to stop your elbows in this area right here of the swing. It's not going to allow you to get to this position. Okay? So again, take a quick look at that and then parlay that into your swing and see what the differences are. But if you do stop your elbows and cast the bat, that's what's going to give you the rotational, flatter swing. So here is Aaron Judge, and let's look at his full swing. Again, look at the same points. As he's 3/4 the way through his swing here, before contact. You'll see that he maintains his 90-degree relationship with his elbows and triangle. You'll see here that his elbow is way up by his shoulder. His shoulder is moving rearward. And it appears he's got a ball on a pretty good trajectory, and with his bat speed, I'm assuming that's a home run or close to it, right there. He's got a perpendicular relationship here with the bat and the flight of the ball. He pulled his hands inside nicely, and he got some nice results on this swing. So if we look at the front of the swing here, if you look at the hands, and the elbows, you will see that all that stuff moves simultaneously. You will also see his left elbow simply goes upward, like so. So let's go ahead and get into the individual lessons, and we'll discuss some of this stuff in further depth as we have you on the screen here. Alrighty, cool. Here is the start of your video lesson. I just want to start by telling you that at the end of your lesson, I'm going to attach your raw hitting video of all your angles and all the pitches you took. I want you to pay close attention when you're watching them to the location of the pitch versus where you hit the ball, the flight path of the ball that you hit, the consistency that you have in hitting the ball flush, and just take all that in so when we talk about things later you have an understanding what's going on there. So again, after the breakdown, dissecting of your swing and the lessons and everything, I want you to go ahead and watch that as well. So let's get started with your action plan. Okay, cool. So here's your action plan. An action plan is something that's meant to be plugged into on a regular basis, daily, or at least every practice or whenever you're working on your game, to help you focus on what you need to work on and what you need to do to improve your swing. It gives you a roadmap of where you're going. It gives you some goals to work at to improve yourself. So I highly suggest that you study these areas of your swing. Get on the internet, get on YouTube, look into them, see what other people are saying and doing about them, and the techniques and practice drills they're doing to improve upon them. I highly suggest that you take your video lesson, and talk to whoever you want to that you trust in this game that can help you out and get multiple opinions on where you need to go and what you need to do, and come back, finalize your action plan and go to work on it in the cages on your own at home and just work at this stuff diligently. But here's the items that I see after watching your film. I mean, in general, you do a lot of good things. You have a potential for a lot of power. If you watch your swings, like I mentioned about the tape that is at the end of this, you can just see your contact is not always your ball flight and ball path is not always where you want it. And that has to do with a few things, but you've really just got a few tweaks to make and you could be a really, really consistent, powerful hitter. The first thing I'd like you to master is the snap drill and the laser drill. The snap drill is going to help you turn in a triangle, maintaining your 90 and dropping the bat into the zone to get early bat speed and on the correct plane. Your initial start's not bad, but you do arm bar and you do cast your hands a little bit. So mastering the snap drill and learning how to turn the 90 and pull through the swing versus become rotational and horizontal with your swing is really going to help you drive the ball at that 16 to 22 degree upward trajectory from gap to gap. For example, this pitch here that you can see yourself, the pitch that you receive on this video here, it's an outside pitch, just the outer half of the plate, not extremely outside, and you drive it into the ground at the third baseman or somewhere in that area. It's, for all intents and purposes, an out. That ball should be driven with good trajectory to the opposite field or at least center field. And that all has to do with how the bat enters the zone and staying on a vertical or more vertical plane in your swing versus horizontal and rotational. So if you made that one fix alone, that's going to go a long ways for, helping you contact the ball and send it where you need on a consistent basis. So you've got those items there. You can see in your swing, you can see in the picture in the background right now, your spine angle is completely vertical. You have no bend in your spine angle, meaning you don't get your shoulders out over your toes and achieve the right spine angle. So when you swing, you get a little bit more, but not a lot. That's very important. getting your spine in the right position helps you use your arms and elbows and your extremities in a much easier fashion. It gives you room to work them properly. So that's a point I'd like to make. Maintain your 90 and triangle through the swing. You can see you arm bar and really don't have much of a triangle with 90 degrees at the elbows to speak of, so that's highly important. The next thing here is grip aid and loose hands and wrists. I don't see any major flaws in your grip. I really haven't looked at it too closely, but I know you probably don't use pine tar. I know a lot of our guys don't, yet all the major leaguers do. There's got to be a reason for that. So I would highly recommend we experiment with some grip aids and look at your grip and see if we can't get your grip any looser and get a better feel from using pine tar. I know it helps a lot of people and gives them the feel they need when you're pulling the bat versus rotating or pushing the bat, which you do. You might find that it's a different feel, and those things help you once we get to the point where you are pulling the bat versus pushing it. And then lastly, roll weight, roll weight, roll weight. It's highly important to get on that thing 3 times a week, 3 sets, as many as you can do. The wrists, forearms, the muscles in the hands, and all that stuff is tied to how you control your bat. It's only going to help if you keep that exercise going throughout the wintertime and into ball next year. As far as controlling the bat, how hard you hit the ball, it's going to help you with consistency in hitting the ball and keeping the bat on plane. So just keep that in mind. It's just very, very beneficial to anybody that wants to improve their swing. So with that said, again, a couple of tweaks here and there, and you're going to have a really good swing. You know, there's no reason that we can't think that you're going to rock and roll it next year. You know, if we tweak a few things, it's not like we got a lot of work to do to get you at the top of your game. So again, these things are going to be done by tweaking it in the cage. If we don't have time during team practice to do it, I am available for one-on-ones at no cost to you during open practices or other areas, other places to work on this stuff. But a lot of this stuff is done by just simply sitting in a cage with an instructor. Move this, tweak that, try this. And sometimes it's just hard to do in practices when we're kind of covering topics and moving through things to get that individual attention. I'm here for you, bud. If you need help, just let me know. So let's move into the video and dissect it and go from there. Alrighty, Cole. So here we have a pitch. The pitch is thigh high on the outer half of the plate, not on the edge, but just the outer half of the plate. Okay. And as we roll this pitch, we just ground it out to the third baseman, shortstop-ish area. Okay. As you can see there. And ideally, we should have on that pitch, in that location, a right field to center field hit, or at least at minimum gap to gap with this trajectory. So let's take a look at what might have led to that. So the first thing I'm going to point out is your spine angle. Okay, you're just a little bit too straight up. You should have your shoulders out over your toes a little bit more. Okay. So here we have you mocked up with Matt Antonelli, ex-Major League Baseball player. He made it through the minors, got his swing tweak, got on a good path, and then he kept on breaking bones in his hand and having hand trouble, but a very intelligent baseball mind. He does a ton of YouTube videos. I suggest watching everything on YouTube, Matt Antonelli. So, but let's look at his spine angle. Okay. He's bent over another 15, 20 degrees more so than you, which, if you watch, gives him the room right in here to roll through the swing with his arms and hands in a correct fashion. You can just see the way he rolls to the ball. This is textbook. This is the way that swings are being taught in the major leagues these days across the board. You know, whenever you're teaching swing mechanics, you have to take in individuals' differences and abilities, and not everybody's the same, but if you had to look at how in general each major league team is teaching how to swing the baseball bat, I can assure you it looks precisely like this. Okay. You can see as he's dropped the bat in the zone, he's almost to contact, that he's got his 90-degree triangle right there. If we roll you into the zone, your arm barring, you got a flat front, which I'll show better from the other angle. But you can see right here, you have considerably less than 90 degrees in your triangle still. It's because you're arm barring and casting your hands. You're casting your hands because you're arm barring. So that's definitely an area to look at. So here's Aaron Judge offering at a middle away pitch. It's a little bit higher than yours, but a similar location. Let's just look at how he offers at it. We know this is a home run because it's taken from his compilation of home runs. And it looks like he hits it dead center, maybe just a hair to the right of dead center. And to hit it to dead center, we know that the barrel of the bat has to be even with the bat handle or the hands in the swing. Okay, if you're going to hit it to left field, we know that the barrel has to be ahead of or in front of the hands. Okay, so just look at his body and how he's holding everything. And of course, the main difference, the very main difference, is he maintains his 90 and does not armbar or cast the hands. The hands do come out in front of him, but that's because he's swinging at an outside pitch. Okay. And there he is, just short of contact, just a split second before contact. And he's got a perfect 90 right there in his triangle. So again, all he's done is rotated his triangle. He rolls the bat out, thrusts the hands at the ball. If he had a laser beam coming off the knob of the bat, he would slice the ball right in half. And that's what he looks like right before contact, okay? And here you are right before contact. We've almost got a full straight arm bar. If we can find your elbow here, you'll see there's your triangle, not even close to 90 degrees. You've collapsed that from the arm barring and casting. That's going to move your bat out away from you, and then you have to come back in. So it's going to make you what we call rotational on a horizontal plane versus a vertical plane. So you're on the merry-go-round, not on the Ferris wheel. So as we can see, if we roll your video, the natural outcome of a flatter swing is beating the ball into the ground right to the third baseman. Okay, it's just normal everyday science. There's nothing really tricky or special about it. What's important is that you understand this and do something about it, my friend. So every time you hop in the batter's box from here till our first game, you need to make this of the utmost importance and concentrate on how to fix it and what to do about it. Again, I'm there for you. I'd be glad to help you, but I need you to make it a priority, because without you, it's not going to change. So that's what we can take from looking at you versus Aaron Judge there, and you can see the differences. So the other thing I want to bring to your attention and explain so that you can track this as you move forward. When you hit a ball on the ground to the third baseman like that, that also tells us that you're not hitting the ball flush. You're not squaring the ball up. The reason is because you're not on the right plane. That's very obvious. A lot of people like to say, you know, or when they're not hitting well or don't hit the ball right, they like to say my timing's off. Well, more often than not, it's not timing. It's that you're not getting the bat on the plane. You're just not going to hit the ball flush. So that's the importance of getting the ball on plane, is so that you can hit the ball flush. When you don't hit the ball flush and get full extension, you're not going to hit a ball as hard as you can. And you're a big, strong kid. You should really be crushing the ball, and there's room for improvement to get some more bat speed, which is going to get you more exit velocity and some more distance on your ball. But I want to explain this here. You're not hitting the ball where you're swinging. So you've kind of got a glancing blow as you come over the ball and hit it downward. So again, getting behind the ball and coming through the ball is going to allow you to get flush contact more often. You can see a lot of our players, you know, don't get full 100% flush contact, which isn't easy to do even with the correct swing, mind you. But in the practice scenario where you're getting soft toss, front toss, you're not facing top velocity pitching, you really have to practice and practice intently to gain flush contact and the right swing path. So again, I'm just pointing out here, anytime you beat the ball into the ground like that, or you pop it up for that matter, that tells you right there you're not achieving flush contact. So just pointing that out. So I'm going to just roll your swings, Aaron's and yours, together here so that you've got some tape of this moving slowly at home, because when you play this on YouTube, all you can really do is stop it and rewind it and play it. You can't really roll it and see what it looks continuously in slow motion like. I'm just going to play this for you here. So the other thing I want to point out is if you look at Aaron's left shoulder and left elbow, it's way up here. But you can see how hard he's pulling backwards with that left shoulder. You pull back pretty well. You know, I believe you get some decent extension there, but it looks like it goes a little bit sideways. I would definitely want you to concentrate a little bit more on getting this going here. You know, just learn to thrust that back really hard. Get the sensation that, you know, that you've gone so far that you're kind of falling backwards off a cliff. So that's something to put some emphasis on as you're taking swings. You know, see if you can get that looking a little bit more like what Aaron does there. Okay. Alrighty, cool. Here is the start of your video lesson. I just want to start by telling you that at the end of your lesson, I'm going to attach your raw hitting video of all your angles and all the pitches you took. I want you to pay close attention when you're watching them to the location of the pitch versus where you hit the ball, the flight path of the ball that you hit, the consistency that you have in hitting the ball flush, and just take all that in so when we talk about things later, you have an understanding what's going on there. So again, after the breakdown, dissecting of your swing and the lessons and everything, I want you to go ahead and watch that as well. So let's get started with your action plan. Okay, cool. So here's your action plan. An action plan is something that's meant to be plugged into on a regular basis, daily, or at least every practice or whenever you're working on your game to help you focus on what you need to work on and what you need to do to improve your swing. It gives you a roadmap of where you're going. It gives you some goals to work at to improve yourself. So I highly suggest that you study these areas of your swing. Get on the internet, get on YouTube, look into them, see what other people are saying and doing about them and the techniques and practice drills they're doing to improve upon them. I highly suggest that you take your video lesson, you know, and talk to whoever you want to that you trust in this game that can help you out and get multiple opinions on where you need to go and what you need to do and come back, you know, finalize your action plan and go to work on it in the cages on your own at home and just work at this stuff diligently. But here's the items that I see after watching your film. I mean, in general, you do a lot of good things. You have a potential for a lot of power. If you watch your swings, like I mentioned about the, you know, the tape that is at the end of this, you can just see your contact is not always kind of, you know, your ball flight and ball path is not always where you want it. And that has to do with a few things, but you've really just got a few tweaks to make and you could be a really, really consistent, powerful hitter. The first thing I'd like you to master is the snap drill and the laser drill. The snap drill is going to help you turn in a triangle, maintaining your 90 and dropping the bat into the zone to get early bat speed and on the correct plane. Your initial start's not bad, but you do arm bar and you do cast your hands a little bit. So mastering the snap drill and learning how to turn the 90 and pull through the swing versus become rotational and horizontal with your swing is really going to help you drive the ball at that 16 to 22 degree upward trajectory from gap to gap. For example, this pitch here that you can see yourself, the pitch that you receive on this video here, it's an outside pitch, just the outer half of the plate, not extremely outside, and you drive it into the ground at the third baseman or somewhere in that area. It's, for all intents and purposes, an out. That ball should be driven with good trajectory to the opposite field or at least center field. And that all has to do with how the bat enters the zone and staying on a vertical or more vertical plane in your swing versus horizontal and rotational. So if you made that one fix alone, that's going to go a long ways for, helping you contact the ball and send it where you need on a consistent basis. So you've got those items there. You can see in your swing, you can see in the picture in the background right now, your spine angle is completely vertical. You have no bend in your spine angle, meaning you don't get your shoulders out over your toes and achieve the right spine angle. So when you swing, you get a little bit more, but not a lot. That's very important. Getting your spine in the right position helps you use your arms and elbows and your extremities in a much easier fashion. It gives you room to work them properly. So that's a point I'd like to make. Maintain your 90 and triangle through the swing. You can see you arm bar and really don't have much of a triangle with 90 degrees at the elbows to speak of, so that's highly important. The next thing here is grip aid and loose hands and wrists. I don't see any major flaws in your grip. I really haven't looked at it too closely, but I know you probably don't use pine tar. I know a lot of our guys don't, yet all the major leaguers do. There's got to be a reason for that, so I would highly recommend we experiment with some grip aids and look at your grip and see if we can't get your grip any looser and get a better feel from using pine tar. I know it helps a lot of people and gives them the feel they need when you're pulling the bat versus rotating or pushing the bat, which you do. You might find that it's a different feel, and those things help you once we get to the point where you are pulling the bat versus pushing it. And then lastly, roll weight, roll weight, roll weight. It's highly important to get on that thing 3 times a week, 3 sets, as many as you can do. The wrists, forearms, the muscles in the hands, and all that stuff is tied to how you control your bat. It's only going to help if you keep that exercise going throughout the wintertime and in the ball next year. As far as controlling the bat, how hard you hit the ball, it's going to help you with consistency in hitting the ball and keeping the bat on plane. So just keep that in mind. It's just very, very beneficial to anybody that wants to improve their swing. So with that said, again, a couple of tweaks here and there, and you're going to have a really good swing. There's no reason that we can't think that you're going to rock and roll it next year. If we tweak a few things, it's not like we got a lot of work to do to get you at the top of your game. So again, these things are going to be done by tweaking it in the cage. If we don't have time during team practice to do it, I am available for one-on-ones at no cost to you during open practices or other areas, other places to work on this stuff. But a lot of this stuff is done by just simply sitting in a cage with an instructor. Move this, tweak that, try this. And sometimes it's just hard to do in practices when we're kind of covering topics and moving through things to get that individual attention. I'm here for you, bud. If you need help, just let me know. So let's move into the video and dissect it and go from there. Alrighty, Cole. So here we have a pitch. The pitch is thigh high on the outer half of the plate, not on the edge, but just the outer half of the plate. Okay. And as we roll this pitch, we just grounded out to the third baseman shortstop-ish area. Okay. as you can see there. And ideally we should have on that pitch, in that location, a right field to center field hit, or at least at minimum gap to gap with this trajectory. So let's take a look at what might have led to that. So the first thing I'm going to point out is your spine angle. Okay, you're just a little bit too straight up. You should have your shoulders out over your toes a little bit more. Okay. So here we have you mocked up with Matt Antonelli, ex-Major League Baseball player. He made it through the minors, got his swing tweaked, got on a good path, and then he kept on breaking bones in his hand and having hand trouble, but a very intelligent baseball mind. He does a ton of YouTube videos. I suggest watching everything on YouTube, Matt Antonelli. So, but let's look at his spine angle. Okay. He's bent over another 15, 20 degrees more so than you, which, if you watch, gives him the room right in here to roll through the swing with his arms and hands in a correct fashion. You can just see the way he rolls to the ball. This is textbook. This is the way that swings are being taught in the major leagues these days across the board. You know, whenever you're teaching swing mechanics, you have to take in individuals' differences and abilities, and not everybody's the same, but if you had to look at how in general each major league team is teaching how to swing the baseball bat, I can assure you it looks precisely like this. Okay. You can see as he's dropped the bat in the zone, he's almost to contact, that he's got his 90-degree triangle right there. If we roll you into the zone, your arm barring, you got a flat front, which I'll show better from the other angle. But you can see right here, you have considerably less than 90 degrees in your triangle still. It's because you're arm barring and casting your hands. You're casting your hands because you're arm barring. So that's definitely an area to look at. So here's Aaron Judge offering at a middle away pitch. It's a little bit higher than yours, but a similar location. Let's just look at how he offers at it. We know this is a home run because it's taken from his compilation of home runs. And it looks like he hits it dead center, maybe just a hair to the right of dead center. And to hit it to dead center, we know that the barrel of the bat has to be even with the bat handle or the hands in the swing. Okay, if you're going to hit it to left field, we know that the barrel has to be ahead of or in front of the hands. Okay, so just look at his body and how he's holding everything. And of course, the main difference, the very main difference, is he maintains his 90 and does not arm bar or cast the hands. The hands do come out in front of him, but that's because he's swinging at an outside pitch. Okay. And there he is, just short of contact, just a split second before contact. And he's got a perfect 90 right there in his triangle. So again, all he's done is rotated his triangle. He rolls the bat out, thrusts the hands at the ball. If he had a laser beam coming off the knob of the bat, he would slice the ball right in half. And that's what he looks like right before contact, okay? And here you are right before contact. We've almost got a full straight arm bar. If we can find your elbow here, you'll see there's your triangle. Not even close to 90 degrees. You've collapsed that from the arm barring and casting. That's going to move your bat out away from you, and then you have to come back in. So it's going to make you what we call rotational on a horizontal plane versus a vertical plane. So you're on the merry-go-round, not on the Ferris wheel. So as we can see, if we roll your video, the natural outcome of a flatter swing is beating the ball into the ground right to the third baseman. Okay, it's just normal everyday science. There's nothing really tricky or special about it. What's important is that you understand this and do something about it, my friend. So every time and you hop in the batter's box from here till our first game, you need to make this of the utmost importance and concentrate on how to fix it and what to do about it. Again, I'm there for you. I'd be glad to help you, but I need you to make it a priority, because without you, it's not going to change. So that's what we can take from looking at you versus Aaron Judge there, and you can see the differences. So the other thing I want to bring to your attention and explain so that you can track this as you move forward. When you hit a ball on the ground to the third baseman like that, that also tells us that you're not hitting the ball flush. You're not squaring the ball up. The reason is because you're not on the right plane. That's very obvious. A lot of people like to say, or when they're not hitting well or don't hit the ball right, they like to say my timing's off. Well, more often than not, it's not timing. It's that you're not getting the bat on the plane, and you're just not going to hit the ball flush. So that's the importance of getting the ball on plane, is so that you can hit the ball flush. When you don't hit the ball flush and get full extension, you're not going to hit a ball as hard as you can, and you're a big, strong kid. You should really be crushing the ball, and there's room for improvement to get some more bat speed, which is going to get you more exit velocity and some more distance on your ball. But I want to explain this here. You're not hitting the ball where you're swinging. So you've kind of got a glancing blow as you come over the ball and hit it downward. So again, getting behind the ball and coming through the ball is going to allow you to get flush contact more often. You can see a lot of our players, don't get full 100% flush contact, which isn't easy to do even with the correct swing, mind you. But in the practice scenario where you're getting soft toss, front toss, you're not facing top velocity pitching, you really have to practice and practice intently to gain flush contact and the right swing path. So So again, I'm just pointing out here, anytime you beat the ball into the ground like that, or you pop it up for that matter, that tells you right there you're not you're not achieving flush contact. So just pointing that out. So I'm going to just roll your swings, Aaron's and yours, together here so that you've got some tape of this moving slowly at home, because when you play this on YouTube, all you can really do is stop it and rewind it and play it. You can't really roll it and see what it looks continuously in slow motion like. I'm just going to play this for you here. So the other thing I want to point out is if you look at Aaron's left shoulder and left elbow, it's way up here, but you can see how hard he's pulling backwards with that left shoulder. You pull back pretty well. You know, I believe you get some decent extension there, but it looks like it goes a little bit sideways. I would definitely want you to concentrate a little bit more on getting this going here. You know, just learn to thrust that back really hard. Get the sensation that, you know, that you've gone so far that you're kind of falling backwards off a cliff. So that's something to put some emphasis on as you're taking swings. You know, see if you can get that looking a little bit more like what Aaron does there. Okay. Okay, so here you're attacking another outside middle pitch. Like it's right at or just above the knees there. And this time you do send it to right field at a better trajectory, but it's still not the not the direction your bat's traveling. It's a glancing blow. It might produce results. It might be a hit that gets you a double, might get you a single, might be an out. Hard to say. It is hit much more preferably in the right direction and trajectory than the first pitch. But again, my point is you can see that you're not behind the ball, driving the ball that way flushly. And there is a way to do that when you fix the 90 and don't arm bar and turn the 90 and master the snap drill and get the bat going in the right direction. And that might be something hard to show you on film. It might be easier to just show you in the cage. But I do have some video of some batters rolling to the ball in the correct fashion. And I suggest that we get that to you and get you studying the two different things. But again, you've got so much raw power. You know, you might have done well with that pitch. And I really want to stress that, you know, at 13U and 14U, you can still be a flawed hitter and hit the ball well. On the team that Sawyer played for last year, the leading hitter average-wise on the team hit right around 500 with terrible arm barring and, or no, excuse me, terrible casting of his bat. He didn't get everything on his ball, but he was just had good eye-hand coordination. He didn't miss the middle pitches. You know, when he got his pitch, he was on it and he did something with it. So again, the difference that we're trying to teach and coach you to, and the point we're trying to get you to, is where you've got a swing that ports all the way through your baseball career. and that means the major leagues. You've got an elite swing that you're now practicing as a youngster. A lot of major leaguers, especially in the past, a lot of people are getting this training earlier now, but in the past, a lot of times people would have to fail baseball or fail out of the minor leagues before they realized they had to change their swing to be able to achieve a decent batting average in the major leagues. So rolling this to let you take a look at it, but you can see that you're again arm barring here. Your left hand's pert near straight at contact. You've totally lost your 90 degrees. Your spine angle is pert near vertical. So just take note of all these things. Study them when and where you can. I'm more than happy to go over this stuff in depth on film one-on-one if you want to take a look at more of your swings than I'm showing here in the instruction. Um, you know, just into this stuff and gain as much knowledge about it as you can so that you know what and how to correct, how this stuff affects your swing, how you want your swing to be, and go from there. Okay, so here's a front view of your swing, and I am just going to roll this thing and let you soak it in. Okay, so let's dissect this swing. Okay, the first thing I want to speak quickly to is you've got a decent leg kick. I don't see, some people like small leg kicks, some people like big ones. You're probably medium, just past medium on the scale of leg kicks. Here's what I tell everybody. How do you know what's better for you? Well, you try everything. Have you tried the small leg kick? Have you tried the no leg kick? You're a bigger kid. You've got good core strength. You're strong. You might be able to get away with a shorter leg kick. The less movement you have in your swing, the less things that your brain is telling your body to do, and the more time you have to react to pitches, to recognize the pitch, decide to swing, and then fire. So, maybe no leg kick or a smaller leg kick, just a small little lift of the foot and putting it back down. Maybe that'll work better for you. Who knows? You don't know. I don't know. The best hitting instructor in the world doesn't know the answer to that question. The only way to answer that question is to try it. But I highly suggest we fix your arm barring and your casting of your hands. Let's get your upper body and your swing moving right, and then you can experiment with different leg kicks. But in the leg kick, you want to get a sensation of hovering. You don't want to just pick up and go and set down. You want to hover, and you want your hips to cock just a little bit, and I might need to show you this in person versus on film. I know one of our other lessons that we've done talks about it a little bit and even shows a video, but you kind of want to cock your hips a little bit, maybe get your hip ahead of your knee a little bit, or just at least that cocking sensation, which actually is going to give you a little bit more torque and power. But you can see you're just linear. You just pick up, put down, and away you go. You got a little bit of that movement right there. You see where you're moving with your hip? If you look there, your hip is movement. Boom, right there. Okay? But if you just put a little bit more leg in that when you're up here, that's going to be what your Justin Turners, your, I believe his name's Salvador Perez, the catcher for the Kansas City Royals, does. Okay. So you got your folks with your big leg kicks. Then you got your folks with no leg kick, okay? Now these guys are pure muscle, but I don't hesitate showing you this because you are a big, strong kid, and it's something to be aware of. If you can get your top end and hands and everything working right, you have plenty of torque in your swing. There's no doubt about it. So let's look at Albert Pujols here. All he does is he doesn't even get his toe off the ground. All he does is lift his heel. And then he puts it back on the ground and twists and torques and hits the ball out of the yard. In case you didn't know, Albert Pujols is regarded as one of the top 3 hitters all time. If he hadn't run into injury and leg issues and could have stayed healthy longer, he probably would have crushed all hitting records. But you know, you can talk to anybody that's got a thorough knowledge of baseball present and baseball past. There's not many better than him. So he is the poster child for minimal movement in your swing and getting maximum torque and power from your swing. He hits for average, he hits for power, he literally does it all. But while we're rolling him back and forth, I want you to look at his elbows and hands, his load. He has no rearward movement. He simply is loaded to go forward at the ball aggressively. Okay, look at his posture when he's loaded. No leg kick. He's just going to turn and crank the ball. He's still got, there's his power V. He's still got his 90 right here in his triangle. He is literally the poster child for perfection in a baseball swing. So not a bad guy to emulate if you're going to emulate. But the other Major League Baseball player who is also the poster child for minimal movement is Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz has the most home runs in Major League Baseball since 2010. So you can't tell me that you need a lot of movement in your swing to generate power, because it's been proven otherwise. As we are growing up in the game when we're younger, we're taught to move a certain way to create movement and power, and that's normal. That's not a bad thing. But as you get older and your body starts to develop and you get more muscle and you get bigger, it's important to look at these things and find out what's going to be best for you, because the less you move in a swing, the more you can sit back, recognize, and attack the pitch and have a good quality, top of the line time to impact. Okay, we haven't even, to my knowledge, covered time to impact. There's no sense covering time to impact until you have a mechanically sound swing. Again, your focus should be day to day, every day, a mechanical swing until you get there. Once you get there, then you can work on timing and time to impact and all these other things that are going to help you when you get into the batter's box. But for now, I just wanted to show you these things so you can think about them now or when you cross that bridge later. That is what I call staying quiet and smacking the baseball. Okay, so that's a little to do about your leg kick. So let's take a look at your load and fire. Okay. So if you look at Albert Pujols, he moved nothing and he loaded in his loaded position. Here, you're dropping the hands, you're circling the hands in the bat, more or less. You're doing kind of a half circle there, down, under, back, and up. So that's kind of an unnecessary wasted motion right there. Okay. So there's a line that follows your hands. You can see that right there. Not a fatal flaw, not something that's going to keep you from doing what you need to do, but, you know, when somebody's throwing 95 miles an hour at you, it's best to streamline your swing and keep it to essential movements only. And this is completely non-essential to your swing, just to let you know. There's other ways to load. I describe it as loading your 90 so that your hands are almost where they need to be from the get-go. You don't change your hand position really. What you're really doing is simply moving your shoulder back a little bit, which moves your hand position, and get more of a stretch in the rubber band between your left hip and your right shoulder. Not moving the hands way back, but you do arm bar right out of the gate as soon as you fire, so that's why you're doing this. Okay, you're doing this and stretching it back, arm barring, which is not uncommon, but not always the best thing for a swing. Okay, so next we've got you here loaded, about ready to fire. And here you go. Okay. First thing to point out is your bat is not pointed completely backwards enough for the knob of the bat. It's not bad. I believe you should try to get a little bit more bat wrap there so that you can get a little bit better bat leg. Okay. Ideally, I would shoot for this red line. Okay. So something to think about. And then as you go, you are 99.9, if not 100%, or close to it, arm barred right there. Okay? As you begin your swing, you stay arm barred to and through contact. Okay? If we watch your hands and left forearm, it's virtually impossible to pull your arms straight when you're arm barred. Arm barred. When you are arm barred, you are going to, at some degree, pull the bat outward. Okay, so as you can see, your arms start away from your body, which pulls your bat away from your body, which gives you a flatter swing. Okay, as you're arm barring there. Okay, here you are with Aaron Judge synced up. Let's just roll this back and forth, give you something to look at. Okay, so here's your left arm, which is arm barred, straight armed at contact. And here is Aaron's left arm at contact. Okay. You can see here, if you draw the whole 90 shebang, he is still at 90 degrees in his triangle. We have you considerably less at contact in your triangle because your arm barred casted your hands and did not turn your 90 correctly. That's what leads to that. Okay, so take a close look at that. Your left shoulder probably isn't as far back as his is at this point either. You know, to get that full extension and maximum whip, you know, I'm guessing his back shoulder's right in that range. You can see here that the tip of your shoulder's still right there. Okay. His is closer to the middle of his head there. Okay, so again, getting the snap drill perfected where you exaggerate the upward, outward, behind rotation of the left shoulder and the exaggerated way upward movement of the left elbow, which is what the snap drill is something you need to perfect, as well as turning the triangle. And that's all you're missing. That's all you're missing from smacking the ball around and being consistent with your contact. So there's some major differences between you and some of the elite swingers.
All right. See if you can do it. I'll give you a piece of gum if you do it all practice.
For real?
For real. Beat it. No, pick up the ball so and beat it. So I need Chris and Kyle still, coach. Caleb, we'll do you and Jace last because we got to flip the cage.
Yeah. What?
We'll do you and Jace last because we'll flip the cage.
What do you want to do? What do you want me to do?
Just sit there. Put the ball in the middle. Hey guys, hold on. Not yet, not yet. As soon as Cole's done though, everybody come in and pick up balls. Actually, everybody come in and pick up the... Let's do a quick pickup. Cole, come back, help, bud. Come on in, Cole. Plate and with your feet lined up. Yes, every time, every time. Look at me. What I want you to work on at home is this. And there's some videos.